We got Jimmy Harrow. They said they're the greatest team of all time. It might be. Because I think I know what this video is about.
Check this out. You see that score? USA versus Germany. Germany is up 82-81 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The game should have never been this close, but it is. In fact, it's been a close contest since the opening tip. Both teams going bucket for bucket, neither of them really able to pull away. Someone is going to have to step up and take control of this game.
That Lauri Markkanen?
And of all the players on
He's Germany? I thought it was Finland.
All the talent, the greatest shooter of all time, a former MVP, the future of USA basketball. It is none other than all-reliable 39-year-old LeBron James who completely takes over this game.
Finds James, knifing through with the left hand. Backside, nice run here and saved by James. LeBron trying to take over.
Old man, let the old man take over, bro. Old man get the rebound. Free throw. Free throw. Rebound. Strong rebound. Duncan Robinson fouled him. Old man Brown. 3-pointer. Old man strength.
With the game on the line and 4 minutes left in the fourth, LeBron turned back the clock and completely put Team USA on his back, scoring their final 11 points and single-handedly outscoring Germany. The Young Bucks are loving it. These performances should have came to an end years ago. And yet here we are, 22 years in, and the old geezer still got it. But wait a minute. This is the best basketball team on the planet. Some have even called this roster the best team of all time. But if that's the case, then why out of all of these players does it take a 39-year-old LeBron going ballistic in the final minutes to win a game by single digits? Their previous game against South Sudan was
a game winner
with a go-ahead basket.
And they almost lost that game. The dude almost hit the floater, and the team almost got the putback and hit this other teammate.
Only thing separating the U.S. from a loss. A couple months back, when this team was first announced, they were immediately hailed as one of, if not the greatest team ever assembled. However, through 5 exhibition games, 3 of which were won by 6 points or less, the title of greatest team ever seems to have been given out a bit prematurely. Is this team truly the best team we've ever seen?
It might be. You gotta understand now. These countries are better than they were in '92, bro. Nothing but back in '92, these dudes, you were saying the dudes back in overseas, bro, they didn't even touch the NBA.
Paper,
nowadays, you got an NBA player on every team in the world.
They have all the credentials to fit
you know what I'm saying?
But on the court, they aren't
They didn't teach basketball overseas back in the 90s, bro. They only taught it in America. Greatest nation there is. You can't mess with us. You gonna respect us. That's the only way you got taught basketball. You were in the United States. If you were in the 90s overseas, bro, you wasn't taught basketball. Then you saw the Dream Team, and that changed everything. So, the USA today has tougher competition.
As dominant.
Basically, that's basically all to sum it up. What I just said. What did you do? I could have said that. Or I could have just said that instead of going on my rant.
As some teams from the
past. I'm looking like Kenny Smith. I said something. I said I'll take 5 minutes to say something that could have been said in 30 seconds. What did you do?
Today, I've teamed up with Best Ball Tournament. Receive $1 billion.
How about Max, Jimmy?
Prizes only on the basketball.
How about Max, Jimmy?
Kings. Last summer, after a 4th place finish in the FIBA basketball.
But they got 4th place? Oh yeah, because they had Brunson and Halliburton on the team with Josh Hart.
World Cup reports surfaced that
Paulo.
LeBron.
How come no one talks about Paulo? #1 overall pick, All-Star, Rookie of the Year.
James was recruiting players from around the league to suit up for the U.S. men's national team for the 2024 Olympics, reaching out to teammates, friends, foes, all to better their odds of defeating a common enemy: everyone else. And although
we put Derek White last. I forgot Derek White was on the team. You know, he ain't getting no PC.
To put together seemed like a classic case of too good to be true. Except it actually happened. A 12-man roster that some are saying is the greatest basketball team of all time. LeBron, Durant, Curry, Embiid, Tatum, AD, Booker, Kawhi, who has since been replaced by Derek White, Edwards, Halliburton, Holiday, and Bam. one of the most loaded teams in the history of basketball. And yet, 5 exhibition games into this year's Summer Olympics, and this team has just barely escaped with a win on multiple occasions. Nowhere near some of the colossal blowouts we have seen.
Dang! That's worse than me on 2K.
Team USA put down in the past. Which begs the question, is this actually the greatest team of all time?
It's up there. It's up there. It's up there, bro. Y'all understand? Competition is better.
1992 Dream Team, a group of players that won games.
Cause like I said, they wasn't teaching basketball overseas, bro. Nowadays they teaching 2-year-olds basketball overseas now.
Shattering margin and took basketball to a global scale. Are they greater than the Redeem Team or even the U.S. Olympic team in 2012, led by Kobe and a prime LeBron and
yeah, how about the 2016 one?
Well, it all depends on how you want to define greatness. Are we talking about a team with the best collection of talent, or is greatness defined by how good they are as a collective unit? And since the 2024 U.S. Men's Olympic team has yet to play a single non-exhibition game together, I assume we are referring to option number 1. In terms of major career accomplishments, such as MVPs, championships, All-NBA teams, the key milestones that we use to measure how great individual players are, here is how the 2024 U.S. Men's Olympic roster stacks up against some of the greatest teams of the past. Now, it's important to note that I only took into consideration the accolades these players earned leading.
They got 8 MVPs, LeBron got 4, Embiid got 1, KD got 1, Curry got 2. Okay, 8. Yeah, okay.
The time of the Olympics. So, for example, although Michael Jordan won 6 titles and 5 MVPs by the end of his career,
he had 2.
I only included the 2 titles and 3 MVPs he won heading into the 92 Olympics. This is only fair since players on the 2024 roster have yet to finish their careers and still have time to pile up more accolades. So this is a snapshot of how accomplished these teams were at the time.
Bro, you don't skip the 2016 team? With KD led by Kevin Durant? They had Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. DeMar was the chosen on the team, but Paul George, Boogie Cousins, Draymond, Clay, PG, who else was on? DeAndre Jordan. Man.
Of their formation. And when ranked against the most accomplished teams, you could make an argument.
Oh yeah, 2004 one. The 2004 one, they had rookie LeBron, Carmelo, and D-Wade, but they won bronze. They had AI on the team too.
Argument that this 2024 team is the greatest of all time, just slightly edging out the U.S. men's team in 1992 and in 96. Oddly enough, the 96 U.S. men's Olympic team was more accomplished at the time of their formation than the 92 Dream Team was. But overall, this year's team is arguably the greatest team in terms of their basketball resumes.
Yeah.
But that might be due to the fact that this year's U.S. Olympic team is old. By the 92 Olympics, Larry Bird had already played his last NBA season. His back was completely toast, and he was the oldest player on the team by a considerable margin. He was 35, which means right now, Stephen Curry is older than Bird was during the 92 Olympics. In fact,
the oldest team of all time.
Booker has already been in the league longer than most of the players on that 1992 Dream Team.
Man, he's probably younger too. He's probably younger.
So, although this 2024 team has the advantage of experience and longevity,
you know, Booker came in the league, he was like 18. These dudes didn't come into the league, he was like 21.
Team in 92 got many of their players during the peak of their careers. So what if instead of accolades and accomplishments, we looked at how good these players were individually at the time of the team's formation? Here is a chart of the 2024 U.S. men's Olympic basketball roster and their production and efficiency from this past season, with box plus minus on the y-axis and win shares per 48 on the x-axis. Now, a few things jump out here. Tyrese Halliburton has been considered one of the weaker links on this roster, but he was actually one of the better players on this team throughout the regular season. LeBron James is really old and still really good, and Joel Embiid's spot is a quick reminder that if it weren't for a season-ending injury this past year, the man might be a back-to-back MVP right now. And now for some context, here is the 2012 U.S. Olympic team and their advanced numbers in the season leading up to the Olympics. LeBron was the best player on this team, followed by Chris Paul and Kevin Durant. They also had a veteran Kobe Bryant and Olympic Melo. And statistically, you can make an argument that the individual players on this team were better than the players on the 2024 team. The 2008 Redeem team was relatively young and inexperienced in the international realm, with LeBron James leading the way coming off of his 5th season in the league, a young Chris Paul entering his prime, and MVP Kobe Bryant. But overall, this team probably wasn't as good as the US roster this year. 1996, however, is one of the more underrated teams ever assembled, with a ton of 90s greats like Pippen, Gary Payton, Reggie Miller, and of course, the greatest front court lineup the world has ever seen.
Shaq and Robinson?
Featuring David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley,
What the
and
hell?
Karl Malone. This team was
Yeah,
experienced.
darn, they had force for days, bro. No wonder why Shaq was bringing the ball up the court. He was on the court with David Robinson, Karl Malone, Barkley, bro, and what's Hakeem on the team? They let Embiid come. Hakeem was on the team. They let Hakeem play USA ball.
Featuring
That explains a lot. That's why they let Embiid join Team USA. Yeah, Hakeem right here.
David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon,
They let Olajuwon play Team USA. Okay, Embiid. You American Embiid. Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, and Karl Malone.
Yeah, he was on the court with them. David Robinson, Karl Malone, Hakeem Olajuwon. Barkley had Barkley at point guard. Shaq was the 2 guard. No wonder why he was bringing the ball up the court. What did he do?
This team was experienced. They were all still in their prime, and as a whole, they were better than this year's team. Which leads us to the 1992 Dream Team, who are still on a completely different
But you got to
level.
add the 2016 team. They won gold too. You can't just dismiss that 2016 team, Jimmy. They won gold.
From any other team before and since their inception. Because here's Michael Jordan, here's David Robinson, Magic Johnson, Drexler, Stockton, Barkley, and the rest of the team. And now we have a better picture of just how good this 92 Dream Team was. The 1992 US Men's Olympic team was so good that Anthony Edwards in 2024 was statistically worse than every single player on the 92 Dream Team outside of Christian Laettner, who hadn't even played a single minute in the NBA up to that point. Now, you may be thinking that these stats of the players in 1992 might just be inflated or possibly a miscalculation. How is there so many all-time great players at their peak in the NBA in 92? And where are all of these players today? Well, they're playing for
They're
other
retired.
countries. Because here's Nikola Jokic, here's Luka Doncic, here's Giannis, and here's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So in terms of individual
They're playing better
dominance, the 92
competition.
Dream Team would be like having this 2024 roster without some of their relatively weaker links and the addition of Luka, Jokic, Giannis, and SGA. That is how good the Dream Team was. And I don't know if we will ever see one single team as good as this 1992 US Men's Olympic team was.
Oh, you think the Dream Team is better?
Weaker links and
Playing against weaker competition?
like having this 2024 roster without some of their relatively weaker links and the addition of Luka, Jokic, Giannis, and SGA. That is how good the Dream Team was. And I don't know if we will ever see one single team as good as this 1992 US Men's Olympic team was ever again. In 1992, basketball was a sport dominated almost exclusively by American players.
That's what I'm saying, but now it's global.
The NBA, and by default the entire world, revolved around players from the US. There was, of course, exceptions to this. Among the elite foreign players of the early 90s were Nigerian-born Hakeem Olajuwon, who ended up playing for Team USA, Patrick Ewing from Jamaica.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the 90s, bro, you were foreign, bro. They'll treat you like an alien.
Who also ended up playing for Team USA, Detlef Schrempf from Germany, and Croatian legend Dražan Petrovic.
R.I.P.
But that was about it. The NBA had yet to really pursue basketball on a global scale. The 2 international teams that were eventually added to the league wouldn't make their debut until 1995. 95% of all NBA prospects were American-born or attending US universities. But as Steve Kerr said after Team USA's loss in last year's FIBA World Cup, this isn't 1992 anymore. Over the last 32 years, the number of foreign-born NBA players has skyrocketed. From 21 foreign-born players, just 5% of all active players in the league in 1992, to 125 foreign-born players throughout the league.
The NBA got more. They got more players. They had 429, so now they got 443. So you tell me by 2029 they're gonna have like 600 players? Adam Silver making new jobs, y'all. He took away inside the NBA, but he's making new jobs.
In 2024, representing nearly a quarter of all active players. Today, when players join international competition, more often than not, they're just playing their NBA teammates in these tournaments.
That's what I'm saying. We're basically playing NBA players. NBA player, 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 NBA player.
Bunch of NBA.
Look. NBA player, NBA player, NBA player. That's Canada. This is Canada.
Versus a bunch of NBA guys.
Yep.
The 92 Dream Team was and still
Let's see the teams they went up against. See if they got NBA players.
Is the greatest team ever assembled because
the only NBA player they went up against happened to be Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen's teammate, Tony Kukoc. Whoop-de-doo!
We're a collection of the best basketball players, not just in the US, but in the entire world at the time. Outside of Hakeem, who was arguably not as good as Ewing or Robinson in 1992, and Isaiah Thomas, who was unjustly snubbed from this team, they couldn't have gotten any better.
I met the criteria to be picked, but I wasn't picked.
In the case of this 2024 team, they're great, but they aren't nearly the best possible iteration of what the greatest collection of talent in the entire world would look like today. So not only was the Dream Team the greatest collection of talent in the history.
Where's Spidey? Spidey could have made this roster. Yeah, Jaylen Brown. You took Jaylen Brown out. Kawhi, you put Kawhi. They ain't want Kawhi. Brunson? They not American. He's not American. He plays for France. Jimmy got a gold medal. 2006. He was on that 2016 team.
History of basketball. Nearly all of the players on the Dream Team were at the peak of their powers, but they were also eviscerating teams. More legendary than this 92 roster and the dominance of their individual players, the Dream Team was crushing their opponents.
Facts.
In Game 1 of group play, the Dream Team scored 116 points while holding their opponent
to 40.
48. In the semifinals, the Dream Team beat a really good Lithuania team by 51 points. If you want to know just how outmatched these countries were, look.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Look, they were taking pictures with them in the middle of the game, bro. They asked for autographs in the middle of the game. Did you see the Dream Team documentary before? They wanted to shake their hands in the middle of competition. In the middle of the game, they wanted to shake Magic Johnson's hand in the middle of the game while he's taking a free throw.
Further than the guy who just threw in the towel and just started snapping pictures of the Dream Team while the game was still going on.
That's what I'm saying, man. Dude was at the free throw line. He wanted to shake Magic Johnson's hand after he shot his first free throw.
And in the gold medal game against a loaded Croatia team featuring 6 NBA players, the Dream Team won by 33 points. Look at this play right here. Gold medal game. The pride of an entire country on the line. Barkley hits Leitner for a 3 and calls
He got PT? Leitner got PT?
Good before he even puts up the shot. These games were never close. In fact, this team wasn't even fair. During the 92 Olympics, the Dream Team had an average margin of victory of nearly 44 points, the largest margin of victory of any men's team at any professional level, and twice the margin Team USA put up in the 2016 and 2020 Olympics. Their average margin of victory this summer has been just 10 points. Granted,
okay, a win is a win, though. A win is a win. It don't matter how you get it, as long as you get the win. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how it looks.
To their lineups and experimenting with different game plans, so this number will likely change over the course of the Olympics. But through 5 exhibition games, they aren't winning in nearly the same blowout fashion we saw in the past. And this level of dominance that we saw from the Dream Team, the USA men's team in '96, 2008, and even 2012, will more than likely never happen again.
Yeah, it won't. It won't. They might lose a game or two here or there. Cause you know what I'm saying? Everyone and their mama plays in the NBA now. Oh, you got players from all these countries in the NBA, at least 1 or 2, at least. You know, we got like 10 of them from Canada. We got how many? Like 8 of them from Spain.
US team. The 11 teams that played in the Olympic basketball tournament featured 18 players that were active in the NBA or were in the NBA at one point in their career. In this year's Summer Olympics, the 11 countries.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Australia got 10 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Outside of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The U.S. that are
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
tournament
7 or 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's more comp?
8 active or former NBA players. No.
Oh, he did the math for me. My bad, y'all. I'm up here trying too hard, man. He already did the math for me. What did he do? 3, 10, 11, 7, 7, 8, 5.
This is an
oversimplified
way of looking at the caliber of these teams, because as we've seen before, having the most NBA talent on your roster does not guarantee success, but it does show just how much the world has caught up with the US in basketball. The once massive chasm that separated USA basketball from the rest of the world has been shrinking for over the last decade or so, and is now at a point where many countries can truly contend for a gold medal. As it stands, this 2024 US men's roster may be the greatest team ever assembled in terms of their accomplishments and their legacies and resumes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the sheer dominance they have on the court together.
Okay, I'll get a 1992 team this though. These foreign players, their first love of the game started with the Dream Team. Cause Dirk Nowitzki said it. Cause Charles Barkley said it. Charles Barkley said Dirk Nowitzki said his first love started from the Dream Team. I talked with Yao Ming. I talked with Dirk Nowitzki. I talked with some other foreign players. He said their first love of the game started with the Dream Team. So I give them that. They inspired foreign countries to pursue basketball.
Each individual player was at the time of the team's formation. The Dream Team is still the best team in the history of basketball.
Okay.
And with the leaps
okay, I agree.
Foreign players continue to make.
Okay.
I don't think we will ever see one single team reach this level of dominance ever again. A team that still remains the gold standard.
Cause they ain't play no competition. They play very little comp. But yeah, okay, they stay the greatest because they inspired the Dirks. They probably inspired the Shays, the Jokic's, they inspired the Yao Mings. So, you know, they the OGs. They give them the respect. Okay. All right.